Well, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to Canary Wharf for the final press conference for the undercard on Saturday, and the undercard to Gennady Golovkin against Kell Brook for the unified middleweight championship. Just like going out for a fine meal, you really look forward to that main course, and we've got a cracking main course obviously, but it's the little bits, isn't it? You know, it's the hors d'oeuvres, Adam, you know, it's the fine wines, maybe a little dessert wine as well, I don't know, but we've got it all. And amongst these fine fighters and fine gentlemen here today, we have people involved in all kinds of different stages of their careers, people in almost career-defining fights for British titles, you know, young men starting their career, of course 2 world title fights as well, Britain flying high, a chance for another world champion, and also a great domestic clash for the IBF world title and a rematch between Stuart Hall and Lee Haskins. So welcome everybody. Before I talk about the fights, I'm going to pass over to Adam Smith, our exclusive broadcast partner from Sky Sports, to say a few words about a very exciting night on Saturday.
Great to see everybody on show. The noise when Golovkin turned up, when he started hitting those pads, and when Kell Brook raised the roof as well. I honestly think it's going to be a fabulous, special one-off night on Saturday at the O2. I think the atmosphere is going to be unreal. And with every great fight, it's great to have a tremendous amount on the undercard as well. You know, Conor Benn kicking off things early on in the night. We've got Paul Smith, Callum Smith's on the bill. We've got terrific fights. I'm really looking forward to the British title scrap between Martin J. Ward and Andy Townend. I think it's a real pick'em. It's a great stylistic clash. And as for the 2 world title fights, Charlie Edwards in only his 9th appearance, what an opportunity, going for this on the big show. As Kell Brook goes for his place in history, Charlie goes to become a world champion at such a young age and at such an early part of his career. But he knows how tough it will be against John Real Casimero, who's travelled a lot, who's a big puncher, and I think that's a great one. And then, of course, the rematch between Lee Haskins and the guy to my left, Stuart Hall. They're both in Sky the other week. A little bit of needle, which we love to see, a bit of old-fashioned grudge, and obviously 4 years on from when they first fought, both are better fighters today. Lee obviously has done so well to become a world champion. Stuart wants to rip that title right back off him. So I think it's going to be a fantastic night. Get there early because I think it's got something for everyone on this, Eddie.
Thanks, Ed. That's what you've been working on with Tony Sims.
Yeah, definitely. Really looking forward to being on this bill. You know, it's a blessing to be on such big bills. Now that I've gone up to welter, I feel like I generate a lot more power in this fight and really show off my boxing talent and learn to pick my shots. But this Saturday night's going to be a good one. Also in regards to this Reebok deal, I mean, it's phenomenal. Who would have thought? Me. Do you know what I mean? Me with Reebok. You know, I didn't think that 6 months ago. Also at big fight nights like the O2, Glasgow, now Golovkin. You know, it's like my career's gone way beyond what I thought it could be, and you know, I'm really truly blessed, and it's onwards and upwards for me.
And looking for a busy back end of the year, obviously, all being well on Saturday, out on the Crolla Linares bill on the 24th of September in Manchester as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I promised all the supporters I'm going to be active, fighting as much as I can, and that's exactly what I want to do. You know, fighting is my life, and I get so much pleasure out of fighting. All the hype, the attention, Conor Benn, you know, I love it. You know, I live and breathe it, and you know, hopefully get 8-0 by the end of this year, and I'll be content with this year. And you know, big things next year.
Thanks, Conor. That's 5 fights you've asked for in the space of about 9 weeks.
Come on, Ed.
Obviously, you box at some of the smaller shows and some of the bigger shows as well, at the Copper Box, but a big card on Saturday for you to be a part of.
Yeah, it is, Eddie, and I just like to thank you first of all for putting me on these stages. Really appreciate it, and also thank Peter for getting me to these stages as well, and working with me week in and week out, and having belief and faith in me to go all the way to the top. So first of all, foremost, I'd just like to thank you guys. And yeah, Saturday's going to be a big night. Looking forward to it. Feel ready, and that's about it.
Obviously you're still learning, but you know, improving all the time, and you look at the division domestically, you must have one eye on those guys as well, you know, around British level probably in next summer of 2017.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely looking to like clean up domestically and at British level by 2017, mid next year. That's the aim. So, and then we'll go from there and move up further. But definitely looking to clean up domestically from now till next year.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's a big night for me. I'd like to say thank you to Steffi and Ray for getting me ready. My dietitian Andy Hayes and Sheffield. So out in Sheffield, Danny Wilson. So thank you, and I'm going to go out and get that belt and bring it home.
What sort of fight are you expecting against Martin Wolf? We know he's very good technically. You are also, but I'm sure you've studied him with Steffi.
Yeah, we've done a bit of studying, but I'm not home for watching videos and that. I like to go out and do my own thing. So if he could change something, and then I've been watching and done that with a plan, but we'll see. Like, we've got a plan, but we've got plan B as well.
Martin, I remember watching you back in the Gator gym in Hainault before you turned pro, and felt that you'd be a big star in the game. And Saturday, the first real step for that, a must-win fight for you for the British title.
Yeah, definitely. Just first of all, I'd like to thank you, Eddie, and Sky Sports for putting my British title fight on such a big, massive show, getting broadcasters all over the world. And it's a big show, and it's a show that I want to stand out in and get my British title in style and look nice and classy doing it. And I can't wait, really cannot wait.
Obviously you had a great camp. I'm sure you and Tony have studied Andy as well. Big puncher, and you've got to be sharp on Saturday night, ready for it. Yeah,
listen, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. This British title is definitely not letting it slip through my hands. This title's mine, and it's mine to lose. I'll go out there and do my stuff on Saturday night, and it'll be coming home to Simsy Gym.
Thank you, Martin. You better say some good stuff.
I just want to
know you're
say,
ready for this fight.
yeah, I'm more than ready for this fight. I've put my heart and soul into this for the last. I fought 7 weeks ago, and I was in camp for 10 weeks before that, and we knew that this was in the pipeline. So I've really trained my heart out for this fight. I feel ready. I'm confident. I can do the business. I've looked at Casimero, and I really do believe that I'm going to take that title away from him, and I'm going to take it in style. I'm going to introduce myself to the world scene on Saturday.
From when we signed you, it was apparent that boxing was completely your life. And although Marbella sounds like a great place to go and train, the facilities out there fantastic, and it's enabled you to just completely focus your preparation on boxing, which is your life. And I know growing up through the amateurs, the opportunity for you to become a world champion, it's just 3 days away now.
That's it. It's all come surreal now since I've landed back in London. I eat, sleep and breathe boxing. I give it everything. I know where I want to go. I want to be a world champion, and I want to be a multi-weight world champion. But we've got to focus on Saturday now, and I'm really confident. And when I say this, John Will Casimero, that belt is staying in London.
I know you study fighting inside and out, and you would have studied him. Tell us a bit about Casimero, in your opinion, as a fighter, and what you've got to do to negate his stuff.
He's a very good fighter. He's a 2-weight world champion. It says it all. He can punch with both hands, but I see a downfall in him, and I see a downfall in his feet, and he's slow-footed. So I'm going to have to put a hell of a performance in, but I know with my awkwardness, my trickiness, the way I hit, the way I move, he's going to be in a bad place. He's travelled 14 and a half hours to get to London. He's 8 hours time difference. After 6 rounds, when that jet lag starts hitting in and I start going up a gear, he's going to be in trouble.
Mr. Casimero, welcome Saturday night, and I'm sure you're excited to defend your world title.
Yeah, I'm excited. My first defense. Thank you to promote and give the opportunity the first defense.
What do you know about Charlie Edwards? He's very young, quite inexperienced, 8 fights, but very fresh, a lot of energy.
Charlie Edwards is a mature boxer. Then this is a good boxer, but for me, it's a very good boxer.
And how do you feel the fight going on Saturday night? What is your prediction for the fight?
I think I give a good fight.
Okay. I'll translate that for the media. He said he's going for the knockout. We'll be inside 6 rounds.
Excuse me, Eddie, can I add more? Because
Absolutely, yes, yeah. I know, by the way, well done with the English. I wasn't expecting
sorry,
any
because he
English.
cannot really
Congratulations. My Filipino's not
express
great.
his,
so.
you know, he's a little bit Tagalog, you know, his local dialect in Philippines. But, you know, he can talk in Tagalog and Cebuano. But I can add more. We appreciate, first I would like to thank Eddie from Matchroom in making this event happen here in England or in London, because this is the opportunity for Casimero to be here. This is the first time that he's in London. In other countries, yes, he has been there. And he appreciates very much to fight here with this kind of card, big card, and of course, he appreciates the guts of Charlie Edward, because first, he has practically the same. John Real Casimero became an interim world champion in 13 fights. So that's why he appreciates the guts of Charlie Edward at the early age, early stage of his career. He is aspiring to be a world champion. That is very good. He can attain that. But maybe not this time with Casimero. So, but it will just remain as what will happen on Saturday. Of course, this is a very big event for them, and Casimero is ready for this. He's ready to defend, and I think Charlie Edward is also ready to snatch the title if ever. So, we thank you, everybody, for having us Casimero here in London. Thank you so much.
Just like to ask you a question. I read an article in the boxing media that said that John Real Casimero was perhaps the best world champion that no one had heard of.
Yes.
So, and you know, we know how good John Real. Tell us a little bit about John Real Casimero's background, and tell us about him as a fighter and a person.
Yes. John Real Casimero involved in amateur boxing at the early age, and became silver medalist and gold medalist in the domestic, in the Philippines only. In the Palarong, they call it Palarong Pambansa. And he had fought 200 amateur fights. So his experience in amateur had helped him a lot in elevating his career into professional. When I picked him up to be a professional, there I had seen something in Casimero that probably he can be a world champion later. So first bout, he has done a lot of things, knockouts, and every 12 fights, I noticed that he has something that he can deliver into the professional level, that he can be a world champion. So we immediately make an interim world championship in Nicaragua. This is the first trip of Casimero, and he did it. And practically, to have the background of Casimero, practically all his fights were done outside. That's never heard in the Philippines, because he had been fighting abroad. In the Philippines, he had only defended once, but you know, because of weight problem, he lost it. That's why you don't know. No, I don't want to fight anymore in the Philippines. I want to fight outside of the country. So be it. So okay, you can go around the world and fight it, and he is comfortable fighting outside. So that's why the confidence is there, fighting outside, but you know, he has to deliver it. So this time with Charlie Edwards, he knows that Charlie Edwards has only 8 fights, and this will be coming 9 fights, and who knows, he could be a world champion if Casimero will allow it. But he likes the guts of Charlie Edwards. He has the confidence in himself, and he has the aspiration to become a world champion. That's it. That is the basic insight for the fighter to become a world champion, which he had experienced before on the 13th fight. He did it in Mexico, Panama, I think practically outside. Argentina. We traveled 24 hours, but still he did it. So practically he's comfortable. That's why, I mean, he doesn't care wherever he fight, but as long as it's fair, no problem. If he wants to get it, then Charlie, do your part on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What about a round of applause for that? Cannot wait for Edwards against Casimero. Of course, the champion, Lee Haskins, and the challenger, Stuart Hall, have met before. Stuart Hall is looking to become a 2-time world champion. And Lee Haskins, of course, looking to defend that title at the O2 on Saturday. I'm going to start with the champion, and I'm going to start with your manager, Chris Sanagar. Chris, been to the O2 plenty of times before in your career as a manager and trainer and team man, and confident of success on Saturday night for Lee Haskins.
Yes, we're very confident of success, but you know, more than that, we're very pleased to be on such a big platform. Lee Haskins, he's an example to every British boxer that's going to turn professional. You know, he came up on the small hall shows, the opposite to Conor Benn, the opposite to Craig Richards. You know, they were just small shows, but he just kept on, and he's been boxing now 13 years. He boxed on those small shows. Sometimes there's only 600, 700 people there. But he just kept on amassing, winning victories. He then went on, he won the British title. He's actually won the British title twice. He's won the Commonwealth title twice. He's won the European title twice. And then went on and won the world title. He's done everything that's asked of him. Lots of obstacles have been put up in front of him, commercially and professionally, but he still carried on. And with his patience and determination, I believe he will be very similar to how Johnny Nelson was, and continue to defend this title maybe 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 times.
Only won another 4 fights, Chris.
He's staying in it. He's staying in it. We're not going to let him go. I've been associated with the league since a 14-year-old boy with our amateur club. So we go a long, long way. He says we have a father and son relationship. He doesn't do anything I tell him. But somehow, you know, we've got here. As I said, with his skill, technique, and determination, he's got through everything. And I believe on Saturday, he's going to steal the show, you know? And that's what we're here for, stealing the show, putting on a performance that when people talk about the show, Golovkin and Kell Brook, they say, yeah, but did you see that kid Haskins? Who is he? And that's it.
Chris, we know you live boxing through and through. Tell us a little bit about the fight itself and the two styles and how you expect it to play out.
Well, you know, I've got the greatest respect for Stuart Hall. You know, very, very tough. And that's the sort of way of thinking when I was boxing. So, you know, I'm not going to say anything bad of him. But I believe that Stuart Hall will come forward. He'll never give in. And this will play into Lee Haskins' hands. Lee Haskins will be there to meet him. And our man will just be too good. Great fight.
Thanks, Chris, and charged to become world champion on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, Stuart's been with us for 2 years now, me and Paddy Lynch. We've just seen improvements, you know. Each fight he's improved. And like, he's 36, but he's like a 26-year-old, just getting better and better. So like Saturday, you know, he's going to rip that belt off him.
Obviously, not giving the game plan away, but you know the styles of Lee Haskins, and obviously Stuart's fought him before. What has he got to do in this fight to win it?
We're prepared for him. We're prepared with tough sparring, tricky sparring. You know, we've covered every angle. We're really confident. Just go in and do what we've got to do.
To put in a big performance as world champion.
Yeah, definitely. And this is a mega show to be on. So you know, these are shows that you, as a boxer, you dream about being on. And you know, I've dreamed of it since I was a kid to be on shows like this. And it's absolutely amazing. But you know, maybe for me stealing the show, I've never did that before. So you know, this could be the first. But like I said, I'm looking for a great fight. I'm absolutely ready. I've never been more ready for any fight than I have now. My speed, my power, everything is just on point. And I'm looking on to showing that on Saturday night to Mr. Hall down there. You know, the plan is just to put him asleep within the 6. I've said that, and like Chris said, we know the game.
You haven't got the power.
We know the game plan. Stuart Hall said quietly. Yeah, we know his game plan. You know, he can only do one thing, and that's come forward. And you know, I think that's exactly what he's going to do, and he's going to walk onto things.
Do you think that he knows he has to close you down, he knows he has to force the fight, and that's where you're going to come into your own with your style?
100%. That's what we've worked on in sparring through training. Him just coming in, closing us down, and me catching him with the speed counters.
Sure. Obviously, I know you're so up for this fight. We've seen the stuff on Sky. You've got a real business head on in this camp, and then fight week as well, and a chance for you to become a 2-time world champion.
Yeah, I just want to thank yourself and Matchroom and Sky Sports put me on such a big belt. It's absolutely amazing to be even be on it, you know what I mean? But like we've worked on so much over the last couple of years. My career's been had its ups and downs, but believe you me, I'm very, very confident going into this fight Saturday night. Saying he's going to knock me out in 6, he couldn't knock the skin off a rice pudding. He hasn't got the power. Believe you me.
I would say I'd knock your hair off your head, but you haven't got any.
You can't not hurt me. End of. I'm bigger, I'm stronger. He might be a bit quicker. I'll give him that. You know what I mean? But we've covered, like you say, we've covered every angle, and we're gonna rip that belt right off him.
Yeah,
Saturday night.
you can take it now. Go and get it.
I've got one.
Go and get it.
I'm only going to give that one to my trainer.
We're out for a week.
Obviously, talk about the styles in the fight. You know that the style that Haskins bring. How important is it not to make those mistakes? We know you're going to come and force the fight. You always do that. But you've boxed him before and taken experience of that first encounter.
This is a new fight. I'm a different, twice the fighter I was 4 years ago. So I'm not even reading into that last fight. This is a new fight, new opponent, and that's the way I'm treating it. But I just don't, like you say, it comes in as a fight, it doesn't spoil it, it doesn't grab, and just as a fight, you know what I mean, for the crowd, up for 20,000 crowd if they're there, you know what I mean, don't fall asleep, the first 4 rounds or something.
And finally, I remember when you won the world title the first time against Vusi Malinga, it was kind of like a fairy tale story. It was like no one could really believe it, with all respect. And now it seems that this is not a game. This is not about trying to shock people. This is about going to get back what's yours.
Of course, this is definitely. I'm going to get back what's right from the man. But that fight with Malinga was a proper fight, and proper 12-round fight, war. What people want to watch. They don't want to watch people running around, running away, cuddling. Let's get it on, Lee.
Let's do it, baby.
Okay, guys, I cannot wait for that fight also, and I cannot wait for Saturday night. In fact, I think the only way you can describe this is boxing porn. I mean, that's the best way to describe this. Sorry, Sky Sports, I know it's probably not that corporate for you, but it's just the best way I know. I could probably raise this table right now with my hands up there. I'm that excited. I want to thank everyone for coming. I can't wait for Brook Golovkin press conference tomorrow. And we're going to have 3 head-to-heads up here, Wall Townend, Casimero Edwards, and a friendly one between Stuart and Lee. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming. Cheers.
Andy. Straight down the front end. That's it. Mark. And then at each other, please, boys. Thanks, fellas. Cheers, boys.
Charlie? Doing that a little bit. Just up a little bit. Oh, even better. Thank you very much.
Charlie, close in. Close in. Charlie, close in. One fist up.
So Casimero left a bit long.
Break the front, Charlie. And then at each other, please, boys.
Good boy. Fist up.
Other fist, please. That's it, perfect. Straight to the front, Lee. Stuart.
I'm here this time. You can't talk. You can't talk. Go last time. Push me. Go off last time. Say what you want, I'll show you over. I will show you.
I'll picture you and Charlie. There's only another 30,000 paid to you guys. Where's Charlie?